What's up, everybody? Welcome into Dark Avenger Live. I'm going to just mute that to be safe. This is Dark Avenger Live. This is the live show where I talk about all the stuff that is in the comic realm and the gaming realm and every other realm there is to know. And also, I talk a little bit about life. And it's been a long ass time. It's been a crazy holiday. So I'm here to do a little bit of talking, and I'm here to do a little bit of an update. Now, we'll save the main topic, which is comics, and the major announcement, obviously, for last. We can talk a little bit as people will be trickling in, possibly. This is live streamed at the moment on Twitch. My goal is at some point maybe to get back to streaming on YouTube a little bit as well. Maybe doing a dual live stream, because taking this off and then moving it over to YouTube is a bit harder than it would be just to have it on YouTube already and then fix up all the little things that need it, like thumbnails and whatnot. But we will make do with what we have for now. So for those of you that don't know, recently, and I made a tweet about this about 2 weeks ago, I did an article on, apparently the Dark Avenger blogger is still around, so if you're subscribed to the Dark Avenger blogger, you probably got a ping, which you probably were surprised with. Or if you've been reading on shootingstaruniverse.com, I talked a little bit about coming back to making videos, back into working in comic reviews and whatnot, and kind of where my mind was. And I'm not going to talk about the entire article. I mean, it was a very long written piece. I had more of a post than an article, so I would say a post. I'm not going to go into details with the post, but a lot of it had to do with where I was mindset wise when I started Dark Avenger and where I ended up as Dark Avenger went on its 2-year hiatus. The two sides in my mind fighting, the old ways, the newer ways, the ways chasing after, getting viewers, getting this, getting that, and getting the other thing over actually enjoyment. And again, when it comes to content creating, there's always that fine line where it's, it's fun, but it's also, I wouldn't say it's like a job, because a job is a responsibility, but you take responsibility for what you put out there and online. And of course, we all want it to be the best. So we're always out there thinking about how we can make things better, how we can reach out to more and more people. And I think somewhere along the line, my way of thinking kind of went and took a back seat to what other people were saying and other people were doing. And I also found myself doing tons of different things, different channels, different types of videos, trying to chase after that, that one thing that finally would, as they say, take off. And after spending a long time away and not making as much content, I've only been doing live streams here, there, and everywhere on Twitch, and then posting a couple of videos on YouTube. I actually have 2 videos as we speak on my camera that are set to upload. They need editing. I am going to be working on editing. Good news, since the last time I did Dark Avenger Live, the good news is the travel laptop I had an issue on it originally. And now, actually, I figured out how to fix it on my own. It did involve opening the laptop and doing a couple of part changes. But the laptop is back to working like it was brand new. And it technically was brand new. I only had used it for about 8 months before for some reason it wasn't working correctly. All in all, it ended up being a battery issue. Changed the battery, the internal battery, and now everything is working perfectly fine. It runs like it is a brand spanking new computer. So I'm going to be using that computer to do a lot of the editing. I'm going to be doing this laptop until the move that we are currently in the middle of is complete. I know I've been talking about this for a while. But it will be happening within this year. At least the office will be. At this point, I am going to be working on finishing my office. Even if we aren't finished with the apartment yet, I'm looking to have my office figured out within the next couple of months. So we will have an actual working computer, and then we'll have the laptop's a computer, and we'll be able to get things sorted online. And then it's all a matter of fixing up a review area, a video and IRL area like this, a streaming area. And I am going to be setting up some goals for myself and for online work. I am in the middle of really coming up with a couple of really fun ideas for the entertainment channel. Again, I know a lot of you that are here on Dark Avenger Media, or if you're watching on Twitch, Dark Avenger Media, which is my news channel. I'm calling it news now because while it is going to have a focus on all the stuff you see here, I am going to be adding comic books and other pop culture stuff to the media. As soon as I start getting things moving again, video recording wise, like I said, now I've got my laptop back, so I have more time and ability to edit while it doesn't interfere with stuff that I'm doing like currently. So now that I've got some editing software set up and some stuff like that, I'll be working a bit quicker in the coming year. Of course, we're in the holiday season right now, so things are a little bit busy, as you all know. We just finished Christmas. New Year's is literally a couple of days away. But I am looking forward to the coming year. So real quickly, so that's basically to summarize that article, was my mindset and figuring out where I want to be moving forward. And it kind of also does mention one of the big announcement I'm going to be making live for everybody soon. But I have been trying to catch up on some comic books. I've been keeping an eye on people's hauls and top fives and whatnot. And for Christmas, I did ask. This Christmas was a very small Christmas for me. A lot of the money went obviously towards the children, but I did get a couple of gifts, like this really awesome mug from my brother. You might be seeing this in the reviews from time to time, so it'll be changing in and out with the the Superman mug. I'm going to put that over there to keep it safe. Of course, I ended up getting one video game, which was Pokemon Scarlet. I'm going to be doing something with this. Keep an ear out on Twitch or on my social media about the game where I'll be recording it. That's just in case the actual game is in the Switch right now. And then because Tommy's been really... Oh, how do I put this? Tommy's been loving my Pro Controller, and he's been working it to death, so I ended up getting myself a new one. This is more of a third-party one. It's really cool. I really like it. Would I be able to turn the lights on without it turning my Switch on? I don't know. No. I think I have to have it actually on, or else it won't. Yeah, it doesn't turn. The lights will not turn on their own. But it's really nice. It lights up. It has different light-up features when it's on. And each controller kind of is unique because all the cracks, it's the type of paint that cracks on its own. What's up, Jordan? How are you, my friend? Welcome in, welcome. So I did get that for myself. This is my personal Pro Controller. My son has his own now. That's that. So we now have we each have our own what do you call it? Controller. I will not be doing. I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm gonna give you a heads up. I'm not doing any channel types of things during DA Live. I should have typed that in the chat earlier and pinned it, but yeah, I don't do any of that. But hello and welcome. I will say that. So I've heard a lot of really good things this time, especially because I'm guessing because of the Disney Plus series. I'm not sure, but I do know that I did enjoy this series by other writers in the past. So I decided to get the trade paperbacks for Moon Knight. The first 2 volumes are out now. So I got Volume 1 and Volume 2 to catch me up on what's been going on. I know the book literally just had an issue drop recently, but I wanted to catch up a little bit on what has happened in the book so far before I actually delve into current issues. And then these I have been reading digitally. I did want to get a physical form for these, and I actually might start picking up the single issues physically, but I got Gunslinger, Spawn, very good series. I've been enjoying it a lot. King Spawn is my least favorite of the 3, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying all 3, but this one is like 3rd place out of 3. And then one of my favorites is Scorched. Scorched is really good. And then obviously I'm reading Spawn as well. Spawn I'm getting single issues of now. So I don't have a trade paperback for Spawn. There's so many trades for Spawn. Eventually I'm thinking of getting the gigantic compendium books for Spawn, but these were the trades I ended up getting for Christmas. And then I also ended up getting from McFarlane, I got the Gunslinger Spawn because I really love Gunslinger Spawn. He's one of my favorite Spawns. And from Funko, I ended up getting the Pix exclusive Glow in the Dark, which this one is actually cheaper than the regular one, but it has the Venom cover like the way it was when it was created, which is like the metallic type, and of course Venom glows in the dark. These, I know a lot of people have questions about the Funkos because usually Marvel makes the bobbleheads for Marvel and for Star Wars. These are not bobbleheads. I can't show it on camera. These are regular Funkos, which is a first for Marvel, and I'm sure for Star Wars. I haven't gotten any of these yet. I love these. These are really nice. You got a comic cover. This is all one piece, and then in the back, you can't see it, but behind the cardboard, you can actually hang these on your wall. So these are nice little add-ons for those of you that are fans. I do want to get the Wolverine one at some point. The Superman one, I'm going to wait for one of the modern-day Supermans instead of the original first appearance Superman. And I do also have a Shazam. I did an unboxing. Like I said, that's one of the videos that's going to be coming up on the entertainment channel soon. I love these. Highly recommend these. These are really nice. Just be careful when you order on Amazon because, as you know, their packages. That came from Amazon, and this was safe. I would recommend getting it from Funko, though. They take a little bit more care with their stuff. And then this is something that came full circle for me. As you all know, my background, I've always had the Death of Superman. The other Death of Superman is here, both of them. I'm sorry if my camera decides to fog in and out. It's because I have the auto zoom on. Apologies. Hopefully I won't do that too often. I'm trying to keep everything away. Whenever I do videos where I put stuff in front of me a lot, I usually do turn that off. But in this case, I left it on. And once we're done with this, I'm not going to have anything else in front of my face. And I won't do this too often so it won't fog up. But I've had the Death of Superman back there and on my wall since the comic walls started. This I've had since I started collecting comic books back in '98. Same thing with this one directly behind me. This is signed by Dan Jurgens only. No, Dan Jurgens, Brett Breeding. This one is signed by Brett Breeding and Dan Jurgens as well. Full circle. As you all know, the Death of Superman had its 30th anniversary. This is the 30th anniversary cover A, signed by Dan Jurgens. This is a Dynamic Force cover, so it has the certificate of authenticity. Barcode came with Midtown. I don't know if that's part of the deal, so I left the barcode in the back instead of the front. So, full circle, the book that was part of the beginning of my collection is now, I now have the 30th anniversary signed by the exact same writer that had signed this book and got me into Superman in the first place. So, I'm really, really happy. This is number 177 of 300. There were only 300 of these made, so not too hard to find, but at the same time, I'm sorry. Bulldog the Beast 18, welcome to the stream. So this was a really cool, this was my favorite gift. I mean, I have a lot of really awesome gifts, but this one has a little bit more of a value, heart value. The beginning of my comic collecting all started with literally this book and Superman Forever. If I ever get my hands on an extra copy of Superman Forever and Dan Jurgens is doing a signing at Midtown or somewhere in New York, yes, I probably will get that book and I probably will get it signed because that was the book that started it all. My hair is so long now, it's crazy. Yeah, I have long hair now, everybody, by the way. I don't know how long it's staying, if it's staying, whatever. Maybe, maybe not. For the time being, I have no haircut scheduled, so this is the way the hair is. All right. So that was my Christmas. So let's get into what... We've been talking about comic books and what got me into comic books and the channel and what the channel was all about, the YouTube channel, Dark Avenger Media. I made a video that I'm going to end up deleting off my camera. It was the third video. I recorded it about 2 months ago, and the video was me talking about the comic industry, and it's come to light recently a lot that the comic book industry is going bankrupt. Action Labs has filed for bankruptcy. IDW is in a lot of trouble. Their stock has gone really, really, really low. You've got creators who, you've got talents that haven't been paid from multiple companies. A lot of them have been confirmed independents, but a few people have mentioned Marvel and DC as well. You've got the sales for comic books way down, and the way they're masking it and making it look like comics are doing a lot better than they are is they're grouping in manga and they're grouping in something else. I forgot what the other thing was, but manga is doing really good. If you like manga, I read 3 different types of manga. Manga is doing really great, but honestly, I think manga should be taken off of the listing for comic books, and you'll see how quick things will be looking good, and then they'll look terrible. You take manga off. The sales for mangas are great. Mangas haven't been in a better place right now than they were, than ever. But That's why comic book sales are not really reflecting what they need to, because they're using manga and other types of novels to cover over the fact that single issues are not selling. And then you also have the news about DC rebooting. We'll talk about that. DC's rebooting in January ish. This is why I haven't started comic reviews yet. I'm trying to wait at least for one of the two companies to be at a starting point. So DC's rebooting, and Brian Michael Bendis has made his departure from DC Comics after contributing hardly anything. I don't want to say nothing, because a lot of people really do like Naomi, and I am glad that DC Comics is going to be undoing a few of the things he did to Superman. We'll talk about that also. But the industry is in trouble, a lot of trouble, and I think it comes back to, and I've talked about this and I mentioned it in the video, and I know a lot of you will be okay with this because I have talked about this in communities, writers communities, as well as friend communities, as well as my own community on Discord. If you'd like to follow, if you'd like to join the Discord, like I said, links down below. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, the link will be in the description. And the big issue here is, for example, I'll give you guys a perfect example. Dark Crisis Young Justice. I will never buy a book by the writer of that book, and I'm not even going to give her the clout to say what her name is on this stream. If you want to, you can look it up. Since issue 1, this writer has been poking at fans. Not just, your average everyday fans, but fans who have been in the comic book, have been collecting comic books for a while. Hi, Ash. How are you? Hopefully you're doing good. And the problem here is you're alienating your fan base for people who are very loud on Twitter. A lot of these issues with sales and with books started when happy holidays to you too, hun. A lot of these issues started when the comic books stopped thinking, or the company stopped thinking about what the next great story would be, and started changing that up with which agenda are we going to be really pushing for here. And then you have writers who are also so politically charged that they do like what the writer in Young Justice did, where she literally said, there was something I shared on Twitter, and I said, this is why DC Comics is suffering right now. Literally having Bart Allen say that they were talking about how the multiverse, one of the multiverses, sounded like it was a bunch of homophobic, and there were a few other acronyms that were thrown in. Men, like white men, racist white men, or something like that. And I forgot about it because I just thought it was such an asinine quote and an asinine thing that Bart Allen, Kid Flash, or Impulse, if you know him by that name, would never say. The book completely, characters were out of character in that book. But the issues are all part of taking the story and putting it in a back seat to everything else. And I understand, comic books always were a place where people could express and share, Marvel especially is, Stan Lee mentioned that Marvel is supposed to feel like the world right outside your window. And that's one of the reasons why, as much as I respect Marvel and I love Marvel, I do read a lot of Marvel comics, I've always fallen closer to the DC Comics side of the board, because I like the idea, while I understand and I'm all for, a little bit of realism in comic books, I did like the DC universe. I thought it was a bit brighter. I thought there was more, I don't want to say fantasy involved, but like it didn't have to reflect every single thing that was going on in the real world. It was a true escape at times when you needed it. And that especially reflected in Superman. That's why for many years all I read was Superman or Justice League with Superman in it, or books that had Superman in it. Otherwise I didn't read it, because Superman was my go-to character. And then when I started the comic reviews, back in, I think it was 2008, 2009, whenever it was. When I started the comic reviews, I had started adding more books to my read pile. Green Lantern, Spider-Man, Avengers, Dark Avengers were still going on at the time. There were events going on at the time. I threw in some independent books. I started to gain a huge respect for the independent companies. Zenoscope was one of the first ones that we talked with. We had a partnership with another company, that Radical Comics, for a while. It was a fun experience learning about the companies that were outside of the little box that I had been in for so long, with just the big two. It was a real fun experience. And now we're in the year 2022, literally a couple of days away from 2023, and everything that was my escape and my enjoyment growing up is literally at the brink of not existing anymore because of what's been going on in the world. At some point, the voices and the people who want their agenda, thrown into everything, have found their way, not only, hitting companies and entertainment industries and comic books and stuff, but they've also found their way into the creatives at times. And I wouldn't even call some of them creative. I'm not going to name any names. But the issue here with the comic book industry is they tried something and they pushed for it. They know what they did, and we all know what they did. There were a lot of people on YouTube that were talking about this and warning about this. And, a lot of people said, we're not going to listen to the doom and gloom. We're not going to, these are people who are just, they're trying to create a version of Comicsgate. There was a Comicsgate. Oh, there was. I knew one of the leaders of Comicsgate before Comicsgate started. I had not been with this, had time with this person for a while before Comicsgate started, but this person was one of the founders almost of Comicsgate. He was one of the bigger names, but this was before Comicsgate, where we used to talk and discuss comic books before we kind of split off into our own directions. I think there's room for everything and everyone and every type of person in comic books. I believe we live in a world right now where one side is pushing one way, one side is pushing the other, and then there are the people that just want to live. And that's the funny thing. I've met a lot of people, such as myself, who are part of a spectrum, and we just want to live. We don't need forced representation, and we don't. And a lot of people just want to live their lives. And the problem is, their lives are being impacted by the people who are trying to force their ways of life into other people's face and say, you must accept this, you must that. And the problem is, the people who don't want to be bothered aren't going to be bothered. The people who are going to be against it are still going to be against it tomorrow. And that's the problem. And that's the issue with what's going on right now. You're trying to force an agenda down people's throats, and you're causing and alienating your loyal fan base, your loyal reader base, and people are just not buying it. It's not worth it. Comic books are not $1.99 anymore. I mean, for example, this book was, I believe, $10-ish. It was about $10, maybe? Question mark. Scorched. One thing I like about Todd McFarlane's books are his books are only $1.99 still. And he advertises it as such. And Spawn's been an amazing read. Moon Knight, I believe, is a $3.99 book. Again, this is where readers are going to start saying, listen, it's $3.99, $4.99. I'm not going to pay this if I'm not going to enjoy the story, or people are just going to do this, that, or the other thing. I mean, do I need to name specific characters that have been literally under the hellfire that has been, there's been there's been hellfire on certain characters. And then, now this has nothing to do with the character being bi. This has to do with their book. I've wanted a good Tim Drake Robin book. Since the series ended, I had never bought a single issue of Tim Drake Robin when it was released. I ended up finding the full lot on eBay years ago, and I bought the full run from issue 0, because they had a 0 year, all the way through until the very last issue, and then the series ended. and he became Red Robin. DC finally announced that they were doing a Tim Drake Robin series. Covers looked amazing. I was really pumped, and I was hoping they wouldn't do to Tim what they did to John, because they really hurt Superman. They really hurt that series, Son of Kal-El, to no end. That book is just walking propaganda at times, and it's disgusting. It started off strong too, which really sucks, because I was enjoying it up till a point. But then issue 1 of Tim Drake came out, and I opened the book. Now, I'll remind you guys, I have not been doing previews. I've not been looking at preview pages, nothing. So when I got the book is when I found out about the artwork inside of the book. And I opened that book, and my God, and this is not to insult the artist. I'm sure that art would work great in a different book. Look up the new Robin artwork. Holy crap. Did DC even give a crap when they picked the artist for this book? The artwork is god-awful. Terrible. Mind you, I ordered the first 2 issues, unfortunately, because I did it through previews. To, obviously you buy from previews, you get a bit of a discount. Holy crap. The artwork in that book was god. I didn't even get a chance to experience the story, because I turned the page, I saw the artwork, and I just said, I gotta flip through the rest of the book. I flipped through the whole book, and I closed it and I put it away. I said, no. I can't read this. Our DC literally knew we've been asking for this. Several Tim Drake fans have been asking for this forever. And this is what DC gave us. Crap. And that's why Tim Drake is not going to make it past issue 12 unless they really push. And again, this is what DC Comics does. They push. The problem is the fan base is not accommodating to the push. We're just walking away. A lot of people have walked away. I've looked up several old reviewers just to see what all everyone is talking about still in the comic book realm. And while some people have stayed, and I'm really happy to see some old faces again and see what everybody's reading. 90% of it is independents, and maybe a good about maybe 90%, 80% is independents, 20 to 10% is the big two. A lot of people have left. A lot of people have literally given up, because if you talk up against certain books, you get caught. You get caught under the social media hellfire. And I'm going to say this right now, and I've said it before, and I've said it in a short on YouTube, and I'll say it again. I'm going to give my unfiltered, unbiased thoughts on a book. Whether people like it or not, that's up to them. I'm not going to sugarcoat the book just because it's trying to push a certain faction. I didn't need John Ken to represent a bisexual as one. And that book is just walking. And this is what really drives me nuts. I love Tom Taylor. I love his Nightwing. He is the man that created a great Injustice run. I would love to get his entire Injustice run. He's done spectacular work in other books. But he is forever on social media going to be known as the man who did what he did to John Kent instead of all of his other amazing work. I still love Tom Taylor. I swear by Tom Taylor, and when people ask me what writers are my favorite, what writers do I recommend, he is always one of the writers I recommend. But that's the problem, and that is why people aren't buying books. There's no money, and creators are now sitting there going, well, I did my job, where's my honest day's pay? And the comic company is like, give us time, eventually we'll have it. And you've got people like David Zaslav and WB, WB, who's watching everything now. We've already had 90% of the DC movie universe erased or ended or canceled. No Henry Cavill's Superman, he's gone. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, gone. We already knew that why did the name leave me? But Batman's not happening. Flash, we've got enough problems with. Israel has done enough. They've done enough for their own publicity. I mean, let them. They've ruined their own career there. And then, Black Adam has recently been mentioned to. Black Adam 2 is no longer happening. It was canceled. Dwayne The Rock Johnson made a tweet about it because James Gunn is taking over and they're redoing DC Comics again, of course. So the comic book realm. Now, back to that, because the movie universe, we're starting over anyway. What's the point of talking about something that's already dead? DC Comics is rebooting next month, I think. Somewhere in the middle of next month, because Dark Crisis is over now. And a lot of people are like, will this save DC Comics? And this was the video I actually made. And this is where I'm going to say, honestly, if you do not change the creative behind DC Comics, no. This will not save DC Comics. This will only postpone the inevitable. Obviously, people will come back. People will jump into... The good thing is I don't think they're doing too many number ones. I think it's a lot of just continuation, which is good. But no, if you're just taking writers and playing, musical chairs with them and just moving them into different books, no, you're not solving the problem. You're keeping the problem in your company. You're just moving it to a different book. The issues not. Hi, Ecto, welcome in. The issue is not the books or the characters or the New 52, which has been erased, or anything that's happened since New 52. The issue is shitty stories. So the issue is then the creative. While I'm all for starting DC over a little bit again, kind of erase a little bit more of what's been going on the past decade and a half or so, if you're bringing the same creative back, you're only changing the color of the bag, the garbage bag. The garbage is still going to be in the bag. It's just a different color, and it's going to look a little prettier for a short time, and then eventually it's going to stink again. The one positive is Brian Michael Bendis has exited from DC Comics. No offense to Brian Michael Bendis. Again, created some really cool characters, did really amazing work with Ultimate Spider-Man. Did not do any justice to Superman. In my opinion, the revealing of his identity to the world was stupid. I'm glad that is one thing that's being undone with this reboot. So that is one positive thing I could say when it comes to Superman. The other thing was taking John, who is a young boy, equal age to Damian, maybe a year or two younger, or old, maybe I don't know, and then aging him up so that we have two Supermen, which we didn't need. That is not being changed. I think that is staying exactly the way it has been. As a matter of fact, Tom Taylor is doing a 6-issue miniseries where John might be turning into the electric blue Superman. I love it. The gimmick from 1996 that didn't work for Clark, they're going to try that gimmick with John. And you know what? People from the 90s are going to be like, oh, the electric Superman. And they're going to jump into that miniseries. I'm not going to lie. If they have a glow-in-the-dark cover, I might be tempted to get one. Just because that would be reminiscent of the first issue of Superman Blue back in the 1990s. But again, if you're giving the same stories and you're just starting the universe over, you're not fixing the problem. Your reboot is going to fail. And that's when David Zaslav is going to look at you and go, it's time to outsource our books. And that's when DC Comics will, I don't know what the word would be here. It will dissolve into a company that just outsources all of their books to other creators, other companies. So other companies will be on the book with DC Comics, little logo at the bottom, because, they'll own the character. But they won't own the story anymore because it'll be done by somebody else. And this is something that could be fixed, and I feel like DC Comics is not doing that. And Marvel, as much as you're not under the line of fire, other than some of your Disney Plus series, which are under fire for stupid reasons, because they're stupid. Some of them, not all of them. Moon Knight was one of the best ones. Marvel, you're under the same problem. You have the same issues. I mean, I walked away from X-Men 3.5 years ago because I couldn't deal with the charts and everything, and recently checked out all the books that are coming out, and the same creative for 4 years now has been on X-Men. And it's not gotten any better from what I've heard. As a matter of fact, 90%, like there are a lot of titles for X-Men. A lot of them are skippable. That's not helping X-Men. Not at all. And I've seen the flow chart or the timeline that's coming with all the events for Marvel. It's nice to know that Marvel went from 1 event, 2 events a year to now like 5 or 6 events a year. But the good news is the events are all kind of inside of their own little book series. So like X-Men will be in the X-Men books. Spider-Man will be in the Spider-Man books with a couple of minis and a couple of minis for the X-Men. But like it's not all the entire universe. I think they only still do like 1 or 2 of those a year, thank God. But a lot of events coming. Dark Web is happening right now for Spider-Man. I have not read a single issue of it yet, but we'll find out how that's going. But I mean, Marvel looks like it is in the exact same place it was 2.5 years ago when I walked away from Marvel. It looks like stuff has just moved forward a bit, and you've got the same type of problem with the writers and certain stories in Marvel. It's just Marvel's not under as much fire as DC because DC is trying to really shove it down people's throats, whereas Marvel kind of pulled back a little bit, tried to give a little bit of what people are asking for back, so that the backlash from Marvel falls more on their Disney Plus stuff and their movie stuff than their comic stuff. For now, we will see where things go in the coming year when it comes to Marvel. And I will be reading some Marvel. So I will be sharing my thoughts on certain Marvel books. But yeah, no, the industry is in trouble because of all of the nothing. There's just people are walking away from comic books because there's nothing in their minds worth reading anymore. No one is enjoying comic books anymore. And until the companies realize that and start bringing back people like Dan Jurgens who delivered good stories. All these books behind me, all these were good stories. Well, you know, Carnage was okay. This is signed, and Lady Death is another really good book. I will say that. That doesn't involve the big 2. And then Star Wars 50-50. It depends. But I hear Star Wars actually is doing really good. So I could be wrong about Star Wars. I haven't read Star Wars in a bit. But the books you see behind me and the stories that I've talked about in my reviews for a while, those were good books. DC and Marvel really need to fix their game. And then there are other independents that also need better books too. The independents aren't safe. IDW is in a lot of trouble. Action Labs, again, they filed for bankruptcy. IDW is where Turtles are. Now, I will say, after issue 100 of TMNT, Turtles went into a lull. There was a lull for Turtles for a very long time. I will say that. It wasn't exactly, you know, it lost a lot of its steam. I know Tom Waltz walked away from Turtles and a new writer came on board, and a lot of it became just about Mutant Town, and it was like, oh, okay, all right, well, okay. Now we've got the Armageddon game going on. I haven't read Turtles in the past couple of months, so I have Armageddon game, I have the main title, and I have Allies. There's like 3 books. And then there was a Yojimbo crossover. I got to get that. And then I just saw that this week, TMNT Power Rangers. So I'm going to have to grab that book as well. I did not know that they were doing another crossover with Power Rangers again. So I will grab that. And that will be interesting to read. I did like the first crossover with Power Rangers. I don't know what's going on with Power Rangers. I haven't read that in forever. I haven't read a lot of things in forever. I've been very selective of what I've been reading over the past 2 years. I will be adding more, obviously, to the list as we move forward with reviews. But yeah, no, if the comic industry wants to save itself, and I'm being honest, fingers crossed that it's not already past the threshold of too late, what needs to be done is you need new creatives. You need new writers. You need a lot. You need to look at what's selling and what's not, and stop trying to push something that isn't selling on people. And then when it's not selling, saying, well, it's because these people are X, Y, Z. I've talked about this before, you know, where they're closed-minded for whatever reason, whatever agenda you're trying to push. That's bullshit. You know it. I know it. The readers know it. And everyone watching this video, whether they're willing to admit it or not, knows it. So I know it's a controversial thing to say. I know a few of you probably hate me for saying it, but someone has to say it. I mean, people are saying it. That's the thing. People are saying it. The problem is everyone's saying that those people are closed-minded people. Take it from someone who's open-minded. There's a problem. And the only way to fix the problem is to get the stories and the characters and things moving again in a positive direction. You could have all the stuff that's going on in the world. You could have all of the things. You can include all of the diverse people and diverse, types of people in your book. But you have to have the story as the heart and soul of the book, or else the book is going to fail. And that's what's going on with a lot of DC and a lot of Marvel, is they're failing. And then other companies are not doing too well because their books are not doing too well. It's all part of, we need good stories. We need good art. We need good art. You ruined Tim Drake. I know that Ecto saw, because I showed Ecto, and they were like, what the hell am I looking at, when I showed them the art that was in Robin. And they were like, what the hell? Because they knew Tim Drake Robin as well. So again, it just all comes down to, you got to put some care into your books and stop trying to make them all propaganda. The thing is, people and creators and creative are looking for Twitter likes instead of actual sales. If you look at the sales versus the Twitter likes, sales are terrible. Twitter likes are great. But I mean, Twitter likes are not going to pay your bills at the end of the month. The money from the sales are, and the books that are selling good and not really being talked about on social media so much, those are the books you should focus on more. Forcing diversity in any kind of media is not good. It makes the story feel like a joke. Exactly. Lunch break. Welcome in, Brilly. Welcome in. I made some of the stream. Yes. So that's just my take on it. If comic books want to be saved, we need good creative. The good news is independents are still good. Yes, some of the bigger independents aren't doing too well right now. I have faith that things will pick up. Unfortunately, maybe not for Action Lab. I know Valiant's suffering heavily right now. Valiant's definitely suffering. And IDW, like I said, their stock is down. I have faith that the independents can pull up. The only reason I can't say I have faith in Marvel and DC is because they have to start listening before. And I think Marvel and DC are just so closed to anyone saying anything that, involves criticism, that automatically we're just haters, and they're not realizing that, hey, our shows, our comics, our movies, in DC's case, are not doing good. Maybe we're the problem, not the readers, and not the people who are reporting the books. Maybe there's something wrong, in-house that we need to fix. Not what we're putting out, but what's in the house putting stuff out. You fix that, I guarantee you, Marvel and DC, if they fix the creatives behind their books, some people will come back. I know some old readers will never come back. Some of them are like, I'm done. They've walked away. They've gone to other things. Some of the younger readers don't care about comics anymore. They jump into manga right away. Like I've been saying, manga's doing great. And so are young adult novel books. They're doing great. But comics are not, because they're not fun to read anymore. If you make comics fun to read, and you get those wide-eyed children who are reading a book and they're like, wow, like the page turners, those are the books you need to be aiming for. Not the ones that are trying to spew out everything that's going on in the world and what adult people who have nothing better to do but sit on Twitter all day and try to force their agenda on other people, which then hurt the people that just want to live their lives. Those are the people you shouldn't be catering to. Those are the people we should be shoving back. Like when you remember, those are the people we should be ignoring and letting them go yell in their corner, until their faces are red and their throats have the veins all popping out. Let them do their yelling. We do our lives. And again, the people they're yelling for, they want to live their lives too. They're just looking at them going, why are you representing me? I'm living my life. I'm very happy. Yes, some people don't like me because I'm XYZ, but you know what? I'm living. I don't need my type of lifestyle, my type of way of loving people, my type of identification to be forced on other people. If they don't want to know it, they don't have to know it. But that's me. That's how I feel. You don't have to agree with me. If you're one of the people that likes to go yell and scream on Twitter, go right ahead. With the cancel culture and all this other garbage that Twitter has now. The only thing I do on Twitter now, to be honest, is I post when I'm live. I post some little notes about stuff that's going on, like videos and stuff. And then I reply to some of my friends, some of my streamer friends. I'll reply to some of their posts. I don't bother with the trending, with the garbage that goes on, with politics and whatnot. I stay the hell away from that. And that's unfortunately the bread and butter for Twitter. I don't get involved when it comes to social media. Social media is where I post the stuff that I'm doing, and I talk to my friends, and I promote their stuff. I retweet their stuff, or I'll comment their stuff. That's it. That's the beginning and end of my times on social media. Even Instagram has me a little pissed off that they've started a subscription service. So there are certain like profiles now that if you don't pay a subscription to that profile, you don't get to see certain pictures. Really? So now I have to pay $2 to $5 to Shlomo over there. Let's just call that person Shlomo. I got to pay that to Shlomo in order to see a picture of his dog that he dubs subscriber worthy only. Please. Please. This is why I really truly enjoy Discord. When I have pictures to share with my friends, when I have events and stuff like that to share with my friends, little short videos or whatnot, I just share it on Discord. Instagram has completely commercialized itself. I mean, I might, when things start coming in again and collections start moving again, I might share some Instagram pictures. I'm not going to start a subscription service on Instagram. That's just stupid. Subscribe to me so you can see a picture of my dog. Or live videos. I think now it's also live videos. You can see live videos on Instagram if you're subscribed. I see live videos on Twitch. I see live videos on YouTube. I don't even look at Instagram much. Well, that's weird. Something happened on there. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. Something happened in the chat on Twitch. Hi, Senpai. I have no clue why that happened. That was a weird pop-up. Something, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you won't know this. Something happened on moderator. Yeah, I don't know. Hi, Stella. Everybody's giving question marks in chat. I don't know. I didn't do it. I haven't touched anything. My hands are right here. I'm an Italian. I talk with my hands. You saw my hands. I moved the mouse after I saw the thing. The moderator did it. Zira, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome in, Zira. Something happened to chat. Whatever happened, happened. Someone did something. Well, who is in the mods right now? Let's see. My mods. It says there, I have only Nightbot and SiriBot. So probably SiriBot did something. Stupid thing. I don't know. Someone did something. I'm sorry. But everybody's good. I don't think it was you, Senpai. I don't think it was you. But it's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in forever. I know you've been busy, so hopefully we get to chat in the coming year. Senpai butt. Anyway, I only use Instagram for art. Yeah, exactly. I don't even use Instagram for that anymore. Hi, Calder. Welcome in. So, actually, it's good that everyone's here now, because I did mention about the comic industry and then my major announcement. So, if anyone's read my article, you're going to kind of know what this announcement is. And it was a hard one to come to. Thank you for gifting Ecto a Sub-Zero.
From Madison.com.
Echo! Stop! See, now I'm just going to have to call you Squish because that... Thank you for gifting Brilliant Sub-Zero. Oh. And now everybody's yelling at Zira. And thank you for giving Stella a sub. I'm just gonna see if there's anybody. Thank you for giving Muty a sub. Zira's just gifting everyone who's in our Discord chat. Wow. Thank you so much, Zira. Thank you. I appreciate it all. Okay, we're good. And he gave Senpai. I had a feeling Zira gave Senpai. Thank you so much, Zira, for all all the gift subs. Is everybody anyone? And he gave. Thank you for gifting Colder a Sub-Zero. You gifted 18 subs on the channel. Subs only chat. Oh, good news. I love to hear good news. Do tell good news, Senpai. Tell good news before I give my major announcement. So, for those of you watching while, you got it anyway, Colder, for a month. It's always fun to have, what do you call it? Because you're here. Yes, 0 is right, because you're here. I hit affiliate last 2 weeks ago or so. I'm in nursing school. Yay! That's great. Starts mid-January. Robbie will be moved in by January 3rd. I could go on. Oh, that's great. Senpai, that's awesome. I would love to hear. Message me sometime. We could talk about all the news. Yeah, you must have been busy. I've noticed that you've been very quiet lately. You've been very busy, I'm sure. I've seen it. Congrats. Super congrats on everything, Senpai. So, major announcement time. And then we're going to wrap the show up. Because about 6 o'clock is when things get a little loud over here. So, as you all know, I'm really wanting to work hard on the media channel, the entertainment channel, the Twitch. And a lot of it goes back to the article. If you haven't read my article, like I said, it's on the Dark Avenger blogger, and it's on shootingstaruniverse.com. I really want to focus on getting back into making videos, doing, reviews, doing stuff like that. What's up, Darth? Oh, no. I'm just scared. Okay, good. So, I want to put that's why. Thank you for the, 19th gift. You're one away from 20, Zero. Don't gift a random sub. Don't do it. So I really want to focus on doing videos. I really want to focus on the media. I'm on my toes just in case. And a lot of that had to do with also I was a writer. I did have a comic book that I was doing, and I had a lot of stories that I am part of a writers guild on Discord. I have a group of people that I share my writing with, that shared their writing with me, and we've had several stories, not just Celestial that I shared. I shared a lot of other stories that I was working on. And I did say on the doc... Why did you give G Fuel? If you're watching, hi, my name is Chaotic Falcon 86. I would definitely love the sponsorship. Just saying, I do drink G Fuel. So, if they happen to see that, G Fuel, love your stuff. We should talk sometime. Dark Avenger, you could have your first comic reviewer work for you. Sponsor Dark Avenger, But anyway, I wish sponsored by G Fuel. I want to focus on doing media. And my whole thing when it came to writing my comic and writing, and I did tell a few friends this, and they know who they are, that I didn't want to be reporting the news all the time. I wanted to be a part of the news. And after seeing the way the news is lately and how people are being reported in the news, I really don't care about being a part of the news anymore, so to speak. I wasn't going to stoop as low as to raid Shadowlight. Oh my god, thank you for that. I really don't have that want right now. I sat down and thought about what I wanted. And the list is very simple. I want to continue to build on the friendships that I've made on Discord, through other people's Discords, the people that are all in this chat, whether they be part of the Dead by Daylight Discord, K-Senpais from Robbie's Discord, who I met through Dead by Daylight, the VR chat Discords, the group Discords that are connected, to people, other streamers that I'm a part of. I want to build on that. I want to build the friendships there, make them stronger, make people, bring people together a bit, because I'm part of a lot of different communities, great communities that I think would benefit from one another. And hopefully I could find a way to get us all together at some point. That would be really cool. I am thinking of finding ways to do server crossovers, something I was thinking of reaching out to other streamers in the future, having server crossovers with watch parties, server crossovers with game nights. I really want to focus on that. I want to focus on getting back into streaming games, Sea of Thieves. I got Call of Duty. I got Dead by Daylight. We've got a lot of multiplayer games that a lot of people on here in the chat right now love watching us do. I do think Robbie would. Hell yeah, that Robbie is actually he's in the top 3 people that I want to reach out to in the coming year. I don't want to give numbers away because I don't want people to know the favoritism. I'm just going to say top 3, and I'm sure you can figure out where he is on the top 3. I want to focus on videos. I want to focus on getting back into making the reviews, making the entertainment videos. I'm looking into hardware. I'm going to be doing stream goals for special cameras, upgrading my cell phone, upgrading the VR at some point for VR chat streams in the future, VR chat. But I have focus on wanting to get back into certain programs I used to use for YouTube, like StreamYard and things like that. I want to get those programs back. So again, I do have goals for that. I have goals for many different types of videos and many different types of streams. That being said, then, I sat down and really thought about writing. And this is going to upset maybe a couple of you, because some of you really like my work, who are part of my Writers Guild, and some of you know my work from my comic book, and then some of you know my work from Epic Story or wherever else. I am not going to be taking writing off the shelf. That I put up on the shelf 2 years ago, around September of 2020. I put that on the shelf when Celestial issue 2 did not sell too well. I decided to take a break from writing. And as much as I've enjoyed doing some writing, like I said, with my friends, with my guilds, at this point in time, I want to focus on getting back to my roots in video making, in Dark Avenger Media, Dark Avenger Entertainment, really pushing stream-wise on Twitch and on YouTube as well, trying to get statuses back that I once had through making videos, through making streams, through reviews, and being a part of media. So I want to focus on getting back into media. And unfortunately, that means I can't do the one thing that I love doing, and that's writing right now. The thing is, though, I don't know if or when that is ever going to come back. I was on YouTube for 8-10 years before I ever thought about making a comic book. I've been away long enough now that all the status I had through those 10 years is gone. A lot of my subscribers on Dark Avenger Media are probably still there waiting to see if things start up again. But a lot of them have left too. The channel, the Twitch, everything, because of the long break, my fault. This is my fault. I chose to take the 1.5, 2 years now break. And yes, I tried to come back multiple times, and life hits you sometimes. And unfortunately, when life hits you, you have to deal with life and IRL situations and things first. And things just kept hitting. And 2023 is going to be no different. I already see something coming that's going to try to hit again. The thing is working past that and still being able to do on here. So while shit's going on IRL, I'm going to still be moving forward on here. And that's what I'm focusing on. So will writing ever come back? I don't know. But for right now, I am taking writer off of my name. And I'm just a content creator. Do I love writing? Yes. Do I have tons of stories written in a folder somewhere just waiting for the world to see one day? Yes. How will they be shown? Will they ever be shown? Um, to to be determined, honestly, but it's not something I'm thinking about. It's not something I want to think about right now. And it hurts my heart to say that because I have been a writer since I was 15. I've loved writing. I loved creating stories and entertaining people through those stories. It's a passion, it's a love. It really is something that is a cornerstone of my life, and I'm sitting here telling all of you now that that might be something I don't share with the world possibly anymore. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's definitely something that I am saying I'm giving and putting on the shelf in order to fulfill. One dream has to move forward while another dream has to be put on the side. Both can't happen at the same time. I am one man who takes care of two children for a set amount of time. I am one man who runs a house, one man who works, one man who does a lot of things, and one man who has very little extra time to spend on things. And I'm sure this is a reason why multiple people are probably going to be watching this video on YouTube to see what the major announcement is, wondering what it is. And yes, I know who some of you are. And some of you are just curious because, you just eat off the drama. There's no drama here. The fact is, for one dream to take off or for one dream to reach its full potential, another dream has to be put down and taken off the field for now. And for me, I'm good at videos. I'm good at entertaining. I love streaming. I've made so many friends over the past 2 years through Discord, through streamers, through my own streams, that this is something that I want to grow. This is something that I want to build upon and something that I want to see reach its full potential, which it hasn't yet. Which is crazy to say because I've been working so hard on this for so many years, to think that because of certain situations, it literally stopped it right as it was about to take off, and there's still a chance that it can take off into something amazing, whether it be money or popularity or just take off to a point where I want it. That's what I want. I want it to reach the potential that I've always dreamt of, and that's why this is what I want to focus on, and this is what I am going to focus on. And that's why anything else that's extracurricular right now, outside of making videos, doing streams, working in the communities, and doing media, I am putting on the back burner for now, without any thought about when or where it will come back again in the future. But it is what it is. Okay, Brilly, I will talk with you later on. I would say he's a wholesome man that everyone should meet. But I'm very... Oh, you're talking about Robbie. I think Robbie is a spectacular person. Robbie is one of the nicest streamers I met during the darker period of the end of 2020, beginning 2021. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I'm a little more unbiased. I think Robbie is a very wholesome and very great guy. My opinion on Robbie Fowl. But yeah, that's the major announcement. Writing is going to have to take a back burner and stay there for a while. I mean, it already was there, but I know a lot of people have been hoping that with things starting up again, that it would bring back everything at once. Unfortunately, because I've been away for so long, I need to build things back up. And in order to build things back up, I need to focus on my roots first. And my roots are what I'm doing right now here on Twitch, what's going to be posted on YouTube, getting the videos I've got off my camera and getting those posted on YouTube, and just doing what I love doing. Yeah, maybe I'm not a part of the news. Maybe I am reporting the news. Maybe that's what I'm meant to do, because I'll be honest with you, there are really great people who are in comic book media and pop media, and then there are really shitty people that are in comic book media that are, again, part of the problem. So maybe this is where I need to be for now. And streams, building streams up and communities up, that's still, in my opinion, worth more to me than just being, a book that's, out there, or a writer that's out there well known. I rather have people who know me for what I do And right now, honestly, the way the comic book industry is going, I don't even know if Celestial would survive in the comic book industry. I want it to. I really have wants to seeing, something out of comic books at some point for myself. But again, this is something I have to take out of my mind for right now, and it's something I am taking out of my mind. And what my mind is focusing on is talking about these guys, talking about stuff like this, being about stuff like this, and talking about the games and doing the games and having a good time and building a community. And then we'll see in the future. But I don't want people to think. And then this also goes back to one other point. I did say that on shootingstaruniverse.com I was going to start sharing written stories. I was going to start writing chaptered stories. That is what I mean when I say that writing is taking a back burner. Those will not be happening. I am going to be focusing on doing videos, doing posts that involve stuff from videos, posts that involve media and whatnot. That is not happening, that writing anymore. I've decided to take a break, a very long break, and just do this. So, and I know I keep repeating it. It's just, honestly, I'm repeating it to just have myself finally, because this is the first time I'm actually verbally saying it. And I don't want people to think I'm doing it, to spite the people in the Discord that keep telling me I need to write, or to despite whatever, because I don't like the way the comic industry is going or whatever. It has nothing to do with any of that. I love writing. And I've met nothing but great people in the comic book industry, people I've talked to, and I've made amazing friends along the way being part of the comic community and writing comics and working with people in comics. I just don't have it in me right now. I want it to be, and it might be one day. It's just not there right now. I don't feel it. I don't have that type of excitement as much as I do making the next video or doing the next stream. I was super excited for this podcast today, like you wouldn't believe. I did everything early today, specifically so that I had this hour and 12 minutes now to sit and do this show. This got me the most excited. Looking at websites again, like for live streaming on YouTube, got me excited again. Looking up comic books and getting back into trades and looking into different series got me excited again for the first time after being burnt out. I literally got burnt out with a lot of stuff for a while, and I don't think it was even the books. I think it was more the people. And again, go to the article, because the article talks about, I think it was a lot about people telling me what I should be getting, what I should be earning, what I should be doing, and how my video should work. That burnt me out on comic books more than the actual comic books, because I still love comic books. I still read comic books. I don't read as much as I used to. I hope I do again. But I think it was more of the outside influence that hurt me and burnt me out on books more than the books. I think the books had nothing really, as much as I felt, to do with it as it did the people. Now, obviously, some of the books nowadays might make me want to strangle someone a little bit. But I mean, again, there's a way to ignore those books and get into other books. The independent line is spectacular, is huge. Previews is this thick. There are so many books out there. I don't need just Marvel and DC. There are so many great books out there. I have no worries about my pull list being at least this thick every week if I wanted it to be. And it might be. I don't know. But, and then entertainment-wise, I've wanted to vlog for years. I really did. Not everything, not my entire life, but I feel like I could put out a nice live stream or a nice vlog every week also. And I have friends that live all around this area, apparently now. So I have a lot of guest stars that could be part of the show, which I'm really hoping will happen and excited for. So again, I'm getting excited for all of that. And then when I think about writing, I think about something I do, when I have nothing to do, but it doesn't hit the same way. It doesn't hit the same way right now. And it could be because of things that happened in the past. It could be a multitude of things. Maybe I need this first. Maybe this is what I need to get out of my system first. Who knows? But, I mean, if ever you got to a point of doing a show on your life, you need a guest star, hell yeah. Absolutely. You and Robbie both are very close by to the city, especially, because that's where I want to go a lot, is into the city. So there's a lot I want to do, and I want to focus on that. So for those of you waiting for my writing, you're going to have to possibly wait a bit longer. And I'm sorry. I really am. It hurts. But at the same time, not sorry, because you're going to see some quality stuff online instead. And I really think that is... I think that I'm making the right choice in choosing what dream to chase after at this point in time. Things could change. Things get better. Maybe I'll have room for 12 dreams in the future. Who knows? But I love this. I love everybody in this chat. I love everybody that's a part of my Discord. I love everybody that I'm part of their Discords. I've met people that I'm way closer to than people, people that I've made in years. And it's just, even when it came to the comic community, I made lifelong friendships with people there that I'm super close to. And it goes back to, I want to continue that. I want to build on that. And I want to do more with that. So that's what we're going to do. And that's the major announcement. I'm going to stop saying it. So no more writing for now. Writing is taken off of my name. For now. We'll see in the future. But you get good content creation. There's a lot of videos coming in 2023. I'm not going to say I'm back, because I know there's that one commenter out there who keeps... I know you. I may be... Yeah, I'm going to admit it. I delete your comments because I think they're asinine. But yes, I am back. And yes, I do say it sometimes, because I am. I've been away for long enough that I have the right to say I'm back as many times as I want. However, I'm back. I've been back. I am here. I'm here. I'm just not posting as much content as I'm sure you would like, but other people are very happy when they do see content. It's going to be a lot more soon. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end this live stream here. And I'm looking forward to 2023. Look forward to Dark Avenger Live. Like I said, I am looking into StreamYard, so I can stream this here and on YouTube again. And also, it's a little bit easier to work. I know that sounds weird, but I am going to be moving off of Streamlabs soon and going into OBS because OBS is better. But until then, StreamYard is a really good streaming service, and I'm going to look into possibly using that for a little while I get used to OBS, and then we'll move over to OBS permanently. Possibly, maybe not. I don't know. StreamYard has always been a fun streaming service for me. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I love all of you. Check out the social media links in the channel below. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the description below. We have an awesome Discord. Link is on Twitter. Link is in YouTube. Feel free to join. But again, we are a safe community. We have strict rules. Follow them. There will be no problems. You don't follow them, there's going to be problems. But we haven't met that many people yet that haven't. And we've got some really nice, good new friends that are part of the community. And like I said, we're going to be doing some community crossover soon. You're not going to want to miss out on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Take care. Keep reading. Keep collecting. And I will see all of you really soon in the next one. Later, everybody.